all want to make our channels better, don't we? I know I sure do. I would like to make sure that I'm doing the best that I can when I share my heart, my garden, my kitchen, my kitty cats, whatever with you. I want to be doing it the best way that I know how. And I've had a couple of different people suggest things to me to help me make it better. So I want to share with you today how to make your channel better. And I'm talking to me, how to make my channel better. The first person that gave me suggestions was my daughter. My daughter and my grandson faithfully watch my videos every Sunday. When I do shorts, they watch those whenever I publish them. But the longer videos, they watch on Sunday. My daughter said, sometimes it's too bumpy. Slow it down. Okay, that was her main thing. And I tried that. But sometimes I just get so carried away with what I'm doing that it goes too fast or too bumpy. And sometimes I'm in a position where I can't use my tripod. When I'm indoors, no problem. But when I'm outdoors, I've tried using the tripod and crash. It doesn't seem to want to stand up on the ground. So that is a problem. And my hands aren't as steady as they used to be. But I got the most amount of tips, if you will, from another YouTuber that I watch regularly. That other YouTuber is Hey Kittrell, late bloomer. She's a little bit younger than me, but still what you might call older. I know she's younger than me because of all of the things she's able to do. But she had a bunch of suggestions for me. Hopefully you can hear me. My clock is bonging. Sorry about that. She said she knows that I don't have great equipment, and I'm probably using my phone, and that is the case. She said it's very, okay, first tip, it's very important for the camera to be steady on a tripod when you are on and talking to the camera. The camera should not be bouncing around. So like right now, I do have my camera, my phone, on a tripod. So it is not bouncing around. Be careful when you are doing your shots showing what you are growing and eating. And move the camera or the phone very slowly. And she had very uppercase, very slowly. And that is where I need to work on, moving my camera slowly. And I do try, but it doesn't always happen. So I need to keep trying and try even better. She said, you don't even realize it when you're doing it, but it can be jarring to watch. Let me show you a little clip of what she said. She was on an interview with another YouTuber when she shouted me out. And I am so appreciative of that shout out. So let me insert that clip. You can see it right here. And then I'll tell you what else she told me that I need to work on.
And obviously in front of the camera, but you know, I've been a photographer, a serious photographer since 1990. And so I'm always thinking about the frame, you know, the lighting in a situation like that in a conference room at night, you are stuck with whatever the spotlights, you're just stuck with that. But it's always, the light is everything and the frame is very important. And I was just giving some tips to a lady who watches my channel the other day, Darlene. Darlene's Garden. I forget the exact title, but I want to give a little shout out to Darlene, because she's been doing a channel for 5 years and she's still less than 1,000 subscribers. And so I went to her channel and I looked at some videos and I gave her some tips. So hopefully that can help her engage more people, you know, to her channel. Yeah, spread the love, you know.
That's right, and that's.
She said, editing is a big chore, believe me, I know. But it's important to start your clip when you have gathered your thought and are ready to say it. So what she's saying there is, when I start my camera, if I've got a big pause between when I start the camera and when I actually say something, I need to edit that little space out and start my clip right when I start talking, so that you don't have a bunch of, I think in radio work they call it dead air. We don't need any dead air, or at least not very much. She said, I also recommend pulling the camera back from your face another foot. And I've tried to do that in this video so that I'm not right up in your face. When the camera is so close, we are doing more looking at your face rather than listening to what you are saying. Lastly, okay, so that was point number 2. So point number 3, lastly, this is a pro tip from an actress and photographer, and she is actually an actress in Hollywood. She's done a lot of commercials and other things. She said, always position the camera so you are slightly looking up, chin up, eyes up, and ever so slightly above your head. She said, this is much more flattering. Of course, you must always consider your light source. My light source is right here. I can change it a wee bit. Let's see if I can. And see if as I move it around, it casts shadows on my face. So I don't want my face blaring white, but I need to make it so I have the minimum amount of shadows. And she said, set your items like microgreens or sandwiches or sweet potato, whatever it is you're working with, by a window. Set them down, hold the camera steady, and be careful not to put your hand in the shot. I know every now and then I'm guilty of getting my hand in the shot. Be careful not to put your hand in the shot, because that causes the autofocus to jump, and it will not be a clear picture. I don't really have any windows that have any tables or anything next to them. So when I'm in the kitchen, I have bright lights that I can turn on. I think probably even brighter than my light from by a window would be. So I think I'm okay most of the time. I just have to make sure. I know I had a video not too long ago. I noticed when I posted it, everything was kind of dark. So that's probably the one she watched, and that's what I'm guessing, where I did not have my light source good. Okay, and here's, even though I thought that was the last tip, here's one more. Tip number 4, if at all possible, keep your footage at 16:9 so that you don't jump from horizontal to vertical. I did that backwards, from horizontal to vertical in the same video. And as you know, when we do shorts, we're supposed to be horizontal. But when we do anything longer than a minute, it should be vertical. She said sometimes it's not possible, but keep that in mind. And what I've noticed lately, if I happen to have a horizontal video clip that I need to put in my vertical, no, I said that wrong. If my vertical clip needs to be in my horizontal video, I've noticed that I have a pan and zoom feature where I can make my vertical fill up the screen a little better so that it's not quite so jarring to go from vertical to horizontal. She said, I hope these tips help you to improve the look and feel of your videos, which should encourage more folks to subscribe. And then she reiterated the very first thing she told me. Be sure and cut in to that first shot when you were saying hello, and let no seconds go by while you were thinking of what you were going to say. So those were all good tips, and tips that I wanted to share with you so that we can all work on those things together. And I hope that by sharing all of this, we all get more subscribers. I know I tend to, sometimes I talk fast, but I tend to talk a little bit slow so that I can make sure I enunciate my words. I'm in Toastmasters, so I'm pretty good about not using and all of those filler words when I'm talking. But what we learned in Toastmasters, if you need to say a filler word, make it a blank space of sound instead. And I guess that's where the editing comes in. So if my blank space of sound is too long, I can edit out part of that pause. And we need a few pauses so that the people listening, their brains can catch up to what they just heard us say. I've listened to some YouTube videos, videoers, that they just talk so fast, they just keep it right on going and don't put any pauses between any thoughts, and it's just, I have a hard time. It's like, I need to stop and think about that for a second before I move on. So there's a difference between too much pause and not enough pause. So that's one of those things that we work on as we speak. The key there is practice. That's also what I've learned in Toastmasters, practice. That's part of the reason I keep making videos, even though I don't have my 1,000 subscribers yet. I keep hoping that I will get my 1,000. Well, probably need a few more than 1,000 because you have to have those watch hours too. We need all the subscribers to be actually watching. But practice. I make videos. Some of them are good, some of them are okay. I don't know if I have very many terrible ones. I guess that depends on your point of view, because I occasionally watch a YouTube channel that they've got a lot of subscribers, and it's like, wow, that could have been better. So everybody has their good videos and their not so good videos. It happens to the best of us. But my goal, and you all as listeners can help me hold fast to this goal, is to practice putting into practice the tips that both my daughter and Kay have blessed me with, so that my videos are better than they used to be. And it makes it easier for you to listen to them, and that you feel compelled to share and subscribe if you haven't already. I appreciate all of you from the bottom of my heart. And thank you, Kay, for all those tips. I'm going to work on it. You bet. So from this Oregonian, well, I was born a Hoosier, I guess. I moved to Oregon when I was just a babe. From this Oregonian to that Tennessean, and to all of you who are watching, may God's love and blessings surround you. And let's all work on making our videos the very best that we can. if you've got more tips for me, put them down in the comments below. And I will, if they are really, really good tips, I will share some more tips how to make our channels better. And if they're just things I need to internalize, I will do so. If they're criticisms, I'll even think about those. And if it's a worthy criticism, I'll work on it. If not, I'll try letting it go over my head. In one ear, out the other, as they say. But those good tips need to stay inside the head so that I can practice, so that you can practice. I will see you on my next video. This is Darlene signing out.